You tell me stories. You tuck me in.
Good day, good day. This is Self-Love Extraordinaire. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Atlas of Self-Care. This episode is about Switzerland. Now, having been born and raised in Switzerland, I grew up always surrounded by mountains and lakes. Everyone hiked the trails, no matter how rigorous, and would make a day or weekend out of it. Would pack lunches and camping gear. We call these nature retreats or our wellness weekends. And it was our way to relax and rejuvenate. And that is a quote by Lisa Parigi, Parigi, who is a model and entrepreneur. So as you could see through this series, there are many different ways to self-care, and Switzerland definitely has a way of doing their self-care techniques as well. And you know, Swiss, they live in the mountains, in the Alps. There's a lot of nature, there's a lot of forest, there's a lot of foliage and green grass and trees and just fresh, crisp air. And when you have nature basically smacking you in the face, of course you want to dive headfirst in it. And that's why they make wellness retreats and nature walks and hiking a part of their self-care ritual. And Switzerland is all about self-care. So much they care about their people. So much so that Switzerland has its own global self-care federation. Yes, you heard that right. Global Self-Care Federation. The Global Self-Care Federation is a federation of regional and national associations and manufacturers and distributors of non-prescription medicines on all continents. We are a Swiss association based near Geneva, Switzerland. We support the development of industry associations around the world to aid in understanding and the development of responsible self-care and self-medication. The Global Self-Care Federation requires member associations to develop voluntary codes of advertising practice and encourages consumer-friendly labeling. Companies in the self-care industry research, manufacture, and distribute non-prescription medicines and dietary supplements designed and labeled for use without medical supervision. The public is made aware of these health and products via direct advertising, and they are available in pharmacies in many other countries around the world and in outlets. You see, so this self-care federation is based in Geneva, Switzerland. And so you can see on their website, if you go to selfcarefederation.org, you will see it. There is also an International Self-Care Day. July 24th marks International Self-Care Day, an annual opportunity to put a spotlight on self-care and the benefit effective self-care can bring to both individuals and healthcare systems at a vital foundation of health. International Self-Care Day was initiated back in 2011 and takes place every year on the 24th of July, demonstrating the importance of self-care to be employed 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, aligning with the WHO UN Health for All campaign to promote universal health care coverage by 2030, and we have adopted the theme #self-care for all. So self-care is very important, and as you can see, Switzerland is definitely on the front lines in regards to that. So that I used to hike myself. Well, I went hiking once as a part of like a school trip, and I enjoyed it immensely. Trust me, if I was in Switzerland right now, I would most likely go hiking in the Alps and doing all that lovely fun stuff and camping and everything, and that is self-care. They don't immerse themselves as we Americans do in our TVs and our laptops and our phones, technology 24/7. They choose to go a different route, and their route is leading them through a walking trail of s'mores and campfires and just quality time around friends and family and the people who love you. And that is their version of self-care. That is their self-care resort, a wellness retreat. And you find wellness in nature. You find yourself in nature. You find your whole being in nature. And when you're surrounded by the trees that talk to you and you ground yourself in the soil that covers you, you just find a whole new perspective on yourself and the world around you when you just connect back to Gaia, and that is the best thing to do. So, you know what? I know we're in the midst of COVID right now, in the midst of definitely unsettling and kind of troubling times. Don't really know what's going on with the world as we have awakened back in 2020. But as we go on to this 2021, make yourself a s'more, even if it's on your own house, even if it's in your own house, next to the stove, or just, make a bonfire in your backyard. And just, just take time, read a book, take it slow, and remember, things don't always have to be so fast. And do how Switzerland does it. Just make a wellness if we may not be in the mountains, but make a wellness retreat for yourself. Read a book, and when you read a book, you essentially are walking in places that you never knew existed. Try something new. Take a different road home. But always be aware of your surroundings. Just try and be renewed, refreshed, rejuvenated, like the Swiss.